So Wolves are finally back to winning ways, grabbing a 1-0 win this afternoon against Fulham at Molineux. My name's Dave from Talking Wolves, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the game and the victory for Wolves. As always, guys, it's great to hear your thoughts as well, so please let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of today's win. And as always, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So Wolves throwing up a bit of a surprise lineup, to be fair. Nuno, of course, has had a little bit of a selection headache with the left-hand side of the defence. With Johnny, of course, injured. Marcel, still obviously not up to fitness. And Vinagre due to leave this weekend before the deadline tomorrow. He had a little bit of a decision to make who would start left wing back. I think a lot of us did hope Marcel would be back, but if that was not the case, I think, like I said on the match preview, I sort of half expected Tomato to go across there and Kiana Hoover to play on the right hand side. It was initially posted that Max Kilman was going to play there, but during the game it was actually Romain Saiz who played as left wing back today. I'll be obviously talking a bit more about his performance in today's video, but we saw Patricio starting goal. It was a back three of Max Kilman, Connor Cody and Willy Bolly. Right wing back starting was Nelson Tomato and Romain Saiz at left wing back. Neves and Donk in the middle, and Neto, Jimenez and Pedence starting up front. And to be honest, I think we can try and skip through the first half as quick as we can, really. It was a little bit of a non-event. Both teams taking a while to suss each other out. Wolves sat very, very deep. As we did throughout a lot of last season, to be fair. It took us sort of 15-20 minutes to grow into the game, and I think that was the case again today. We possibly should have scored the opening goal of the game. Nelson Tomato had a chance saved by Areola after a Pedro Neto shot. Really, really good save. He made a couple of smart stops, to be fair, and it is a surprise that, you know, Fulham have signed one or two players like Areola, who, no disrespect to Fulham, I think he's better than the level that they're trying to aim at this season. If I'm honest, I think that's a very, very good signing, and he'll have plenty of work to do, and I think he'll make plenty of good saves this season. But yeah, the first half was pretty disappointing I think for both sides. Fulham probably would be the happier of the two teams because they kept a clean sheet. They've conceded early in their last few games. But I think for Wolves, going into that half-time, we were a little bit frustrated. It was a little bit slow from Wolves. We had to be a bit more aggressive going forward, and really the only person that wanted to make things happen was Pedro Neto. So second half came and it was much better. For the whole 45 minutes, to be fair, my eyes were almost glued on the screen. Maybe the last 5 minutes I did want to scream and put a pillow over my face, but you know, the second half was much better to watch. We had chances, we created opportunities, we were a little bit more aggressive going forward, and we wanted it a little bit more. We finally got the goal, though, through Pedro Neto. It was a lovely strike, to be fair. He hit it really, really sweetly. Had a couple of bites at the cherry. It got blocked a few times, and it did fall to Pedro Neto. Hit it really sweetly through a crowd of a couple of players, and obviously across Areola to find the back of the net. And I don't think there's anybody in that Wolves team at the moment that deserves a goal more than Pedro Neto. He's working hard. He's putting in the work rate. Every week, you know, even as fans, when you lose games, as long as you know a player is putting in 100% effort, you can't really ask for much more than that. And Pedro Neto just seems to do that every week at the moment. And for him to score that goal is great for him. You know, there's been a lot of comparisons since Diogo Jota left with Pedro Neto and Daniel Pedence. Are they going to ever be as good as Diogo Jota? What can they offer which is different to Jota? And I think in terms of playing and assists and bringing players into the game, those two are fantastic at that. And both of them just need to start adding goals to their game to surpass what Jota achieved at Wolves, and I think hopefully we'll start to see that a little bit more now throughout the season. Jimenez had a great chance as well. I think it was Kilman who with a massive clearance up the pitch, and Jimenez straight through and goal, did really well. I think it was Tim Ream or Le Marchand he was up against and shrugged them off, and then a shot straight at Areola. But we did create a couple of good opportunities and looked a little bit better going forward. Seemed to have an idea. We were moving the ball a lot quicker, which is always key. The nice 1-2s. And I've got to say, the Fulham defence is just so shaky. And on another day, we may have got punished, but today we got away with it. I think, you know, against teams now, it's good to see us grab 3 points, but I think teams like that, when their defence is that shaky, we've got to try and put teams to the sword a little bit more. Areola did make some smart stops, to be fair to him. It could have been 2 or 3 goals for Wolves, but we probably should have scored at least 1 or 2 more goals in that game. Fulham, though, obviously towards the last 20 minutes of the game after Wolves had scored, it was typical Wolves. We brought off an attacker, went with Moutinho just to try and shore up the midfield slightly, and it just allowed Fulham to get into the game, which always as Wolves fans are a little bit tetchy and a little bit worried about. They caught us once on the counter. Really good work from Lookman, who's going to be a player now that's just come into Fulham. I think he's going to be a player to look out for Fulham. Great run. What a ball it was from him to Mitrovic. And then a ball for Kamara, who's got to be doing better. Straight at Patricio. Wolves really did get away with that one. But other than that, I didn't really feel too threatened. They had a couple of half chances, a free kick towards the end. But Wolves defended really, really well. The organisation was bang on. Although the game, especially the first half, was a little bit boring for a neutral, I think Nuno will be much happier with the defensive display and defensive performance compared to that against West Ham, which was just a bit of a calamity, really. Kilman slotted into that defence superbly. I really like Max Kilman. He's a player that it really does deserve more football, and he has been unlucky with the form and the consistency of our back three over the last year or so. But he was really, really good today, and you can just tell, obviously, with the whole futsal thing, you know, he's just got technique, he's got flair, he's got confidence on the ball, and his passing was great today as well. And I wouldn't be against seeing him in the future more often there. Sace did a job, really good job at left wing back as well. It was interesting because as he pushed forward, it was almost as if, you know, the Wolves produced some sort of back four, and same with Semedo, you know, we all shifted across and created like a back four, which was quite interesting and worked quite well for Wolves. But other than that, you know, Pedro Neto, as I say, again for me, in the first half especially, was the only person that really wanted to make things happen. Raul again put in a really good shift, you know, trying to get others involved. Could have had a goal or two himself today to celebrate that contract, which is great news. He's got a new contract. Nuno's got a new contract. Cody's got a new contract. Almost the spine of our team there. Adama's apparently in talks as well. So those sort of contract renewals, although it doesn't feel like it as a fan, but they are almost new transfers to Wolves. And it's to show other teams, you know what? These are our best assets. They're ours. No one else can even look at them. No one else can even inquire about them. They're here to stay. And hopefully we'll see some more goals for Raul. We'll see Adama playing more minutes and running at defences because he obviously didn't really get a chance to do so today. But 3 points. To go into the international break with 3 points, although possibly you guys may have wanted a few more goals, to go with 3 points into the international break is great. A lot of our players on international duty, and if you went into that on the back of a defeat, it's just going to take all your negative attitude and negative energy for the next 2 weeks. So it's great to see Wolves grab 3 points, a much needed 3 points, and it's 2 wins, 2 defeats now for Wolves, and hopefully we can take that into the next game after the international break. As always, guys, do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, check out the Fans React, which should be out shortly as well after this video, and until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all very, very soon.